Hey, in this video, I want to talk about like what's going on with the channel, what type of content I'm making, like what's this podcast all about, and what I'm up to. I'm going to try to answer 10 questions that I think that I've been asked here and there. So I'm going to put them all together and we're going to answer them. I'm going to timestamp everything below. So if you have any questions, or maybe you didn't catch something I said, you want to go back and listen to it, feel free. All right. 10 questions. I'll try to be quick and brief with your time, but there's some things I want to get into. So let's go. Question number 1. What is the goal of this channel? Now, the goal, and I'm going to just kind of do the overarching goal here, but the whole goal of this channel for me is I want to talk with people that are leaders in our community. I want to talk to organizations that matter. I want to talk to people of interest. I want to have long form content with these people that you can listen into. Think of it like a fly on the wall to a conversation I'm having with somebody that I feel like is important enough to have this with. And my goal with that is to hopefully maybe explain some policies, explain some projects that are going on in the community. I want them to walk us through and help answer some of like most basic or even the hard questions. But my goal is that we all walk away with something more than we started with. All right, that's kind of simple. We'll get into it more in the other questions. Let's jump into question number 2. Is the podcast scripted? No. In fact, almost anything that I do is not scripted beyond like bullet points. Even this video, look, I have my questions written down and honestly, they're just there to kind of guide me. I do not like to script things because I like things to happen as they happen. And if you focus and you just go through the script, you get something that's just kind of like processed and it feels bad. I like sitting down with somebody and maybe have like a loose idea of what I want to have as a conversation. And then from there, I like to let it go wherever it wants to. That's how we get more information. That's how we get deep dives. That's how we explore conversations that we thought we might not ever have with somebody. And that is something I will probably always do. If you don't like unscripted content, I'll understand. You do not have to be a part of this. I get it. There's so many other channels, but this is the way that my ADHD works. I'm proud of it and I'm happy to keep it going. Question number 3, how do you choose who to talk with? And this is a question that I get kind of often. In fact, if you look at episode number 15 with Lauren, she asked me kind of on the back half, she's like, why don't you sit down with the opposition? Why don't you sit down with somebody that maybe has a different thought process? And I appreciate that, right? But at the end of the day, I'm trying to do something very specific here. I'm trying to explore what makes somebody tick. I'm trying to explore why an organization exists. My goal here is not to have opposition like arguments. I don't want anybody flipping this table over. I don't want anxiety inducing content. It's not good for me. It's not good for them. It's not good for any of us. There are plenty of channels where you can get all that. This one here is more about who I think is important to talk with, who has the ideas that we want to explore, who has that thought process that we want to get into. So at least for right now, I'm going to focus on that and less on like trying to reach across the aisle or any of that stuff. And I also think about what is the value of these people? Are they scientists? Are they engineers? Are they doing a cool project on our coastline or in our mountains? Are they politicians running for office? And I understand right now, I've had a good amount of politicians on the episodes, but that's not really the point of this. This is not supposed to be a political podcast. This is a podcast that we happen to talk about politics. I am politically driven, but I also want to talk to other leaders in our community. It doesn't have to be politics. All right. Hopefully that's a good answer for everybody. We'll see. Leave a comment below if you want to get any more details or anything like that. All right. Question number 4. Do you use AI? Short answer is yes for 2 things, but no overall. I'm a creative person. I make videos. I am a graphic designer. I like marketing, SEO, like all these things. I don't want to offload those things to a machine. I feel like creativity is best when it comes from the brain. I only use, okay, so let's talk about those 2 things. So one, when you watch a podcast and it flips back and forth to who's talking, right? Between all the three cameras, AI is helping me cut those. I get about 80% there with AI, but I still go in and I edit the full podcast from start to beginning. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, 4 times I'll listen to an episode before I put it out. I'm trying to make it the best possible episode I can. I don't even edit that much. The only time I edit is if like there's some doxing information, maybe some medical diagnosis for kids or something else that might be sensitive. I don't like editing a lot because I don't want anybody thinking that I've edited out something worth listening to. So I treat this as a conversation and as lightly edited as I possibly can. The second thing that I use AI for is to make the transcripts. There's no way I can, as one person, not only cut 2, 3, maybe even 400 cuts when I do 1 2-hour video, for example, depending on what the speed of the conversation is and everything else. So transcripts and cutting, that's the only thing. AI is supposed to make your life easier. If I could have it do the laundry or dishes, that would be great too. But I don't want it to do any heavy lifting for creativity. And that includes thumbnails, okay? You will never see an AI thumbnail on any of my channels. Every thumbnail I personally do, and I make sure that AI is not invested in that. All right, question number 5, is there a schedule for content uploads? The answer is no. I wish there was. I'm not necessarily at the point where I can guarantee you a video every Thursday, for example. So what I do is typically we'll shoot a video and then within a day or two, I will try to edit that and get it up as fast as I can, because there are things that we talk about in some of these episodes that are kind of time sensitive. For example, if you go look at number 14 with Mayor Chuck Grassi, he talks about some really time sensitive things, mental health help, housing, and some other things. And I thought like, wow, this is something I need to get out to the community at large fast. So I do that. I try not to sit on episodes. There is nothing like brewing for months. I typically try to record and get it out as fast as I can. However, maybe in the future, as I have a team and I have more content to schedule and stuff like that, I'll get better at that. Apologies if that's not your thing or you're mad at me for that at all. So number 6, this is a fun one. What are your political leanings? I'm a radical lefty, but I'm not a centrist. I am not a corporate Democrat. I am not a centrist Democrat. I'm a progressive. At the end of the day, I believe in simple things. Everybody deserves health care. Everybody deserves a home. Everybody deserves food, like everything, right? We don't get to choose to be born here. We just show up because our parents put us here. But that does not mean that we need to suffer. You do not have to go through a lifetime of suffering because, some billionaire wants you to work harder for them. At the end of the day, I'm a lefty because that's where my priorities sit. But at one point, I was conservative leaning. I would say 2012 and prior, I had a lot of right-wing ideology. I was a young man in my 20s and super, super early 30s. I'm different now. And no, I didn't have any like brain damage or anything like that, in case anybody's wondering. I just woke up one day and I was like, these are not the values I want to live anymore. So I made the choice. I switched. I dug into the left wing side of things, and I found this is actually where my priorities lie. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but anyway, if you're wondering like, hey, what politician would you link yourself closest to? I would say AOC or Bernie, and that might make me a Bernie bro, but I'm okay with that. I like what Bernie's doing. Bernie is good for America. He's good for the world too. All right. If you have any more questions, again, comment below. Number 7, who are you? This is a great question too. I don't want to talk about like my background because that's the next question. I want to talk about who I am. My name is Adam Mulholland. I am from Connecticut. I live in New Hampshire. Between those two destinations, I took about 25 years. I served in the Air Force for 20. I lived overseas for a bunch. I came back to the U.S. in 2018 to New Hampshire. I came here to be around my brother, my family, and put some anchors down, put some roots down, let my family prosper, let them go to college, let them go to school. I don't know. This is my first time I've ever been to like somewhere more than like 3 or 4 years. So at the end of the day, I'm a pretty basic guy. I like doing computers stuff. I like making media content creation. I like laughing. I'm just a simple dude, honestly. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son. I'm so many things, probably much like yourself. I'm just a regular guy in New Hampshire trying to make a difference for my community and my state. Now, let's kind of blend that question into number 8. What is your background? Because this separates a little bit. Now, my background, I came out of high school with my hairdressing license. I worked in a salon. Then one day I joined the Air Force and left. Went in there for just over 20 years. My first 4 years, I refueled aircraft. I helped dispense like liquid oxygen, liquid nitrogen. I traveled all over the place, the world, the US, all over. I met so many good people. But then I was a little bit bored. So I decided to go ahead and switch my job over to satellite communications. I became an expert in electronics and communication, long haul communications, building antennas, fiber optics, like all of that stuff. Like I'm pretty geeky. Even in my own house, I have a small data center closet to give you some kind of idea of who I am. I'm riddled with ADHD. I can barely rub two thoughts together and keep them in a spot, for very long at least. I have a good background. My education, I have 3 associate degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in visual communications with digital design as my minor. So that means I'm a graphic designer with a marketing background. I've been doing podcasting since like 2012 on, I would say, a professional level, maybe. It depends. Nobody pays you for podcasting, so maybe that's not true. Anyway, I just turned on some mics in 2012 and I started creating podcasts, good, bad, or indifferent. And before I did this, I ran for State House in 2024 in New Hampshire. I was going to hopefully beat out the Republican in the seat. That did not happen. Before that, I was basically a Twitch streamer. I streamed all the time. I loved it. It was so much fun. It built me up to what I am today. That's my background. If you have any specific questions on that, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them, or I'll put them in for another video in the future. All right, we're almost done. 2 more questions. Bear with me. We got this. Number 9, what type of content can we expect? Now, I kind of talked about this a little bit in the first question, but what can you expect here? I think you can expect at least 1 1.5 to 2 hour, like full length conversation per week. I've done more than that. Some weeks I've done 3. We're going to get more and more as we build up, right? Because more people are learning about the channel and they're starting to reach out and seeing like, hey, can I do an episode? Like I have some bills that I want to talk about. I have some policy I want to talk about, or we have some projects. If it's an organization, I'm down. I like that. Once you get the 2-hour videos, then I take it and I break it down into smaller chunks. So maybe I get 2, maybe 3, 10, 15-minute videos out of that. And then from there, I break it down even further into YouTube shorts. The goal is to reach as many people as possible and try to build a community here. That's really hard as a new channel. For those that don't know, this channel started in January this year, 2026. It's small. I'm doing the best I can. I'm only one person. I edit, I do thumbnails, I do the audio stuff. Everything is me. I don't outsource anything except those 2 things I talked about with AI. That's it. So you can expect long form, medium form, and short form. The only thing that I don't know if I want to do is I don't know if I want to go live. So I haven't made that choice. I have a very long history of being a live streamer. I just don't know if I want to do that on YouTube. It is very time consuming, and it can kind of change the whole vibe quite a bit. So do not hold me to that. I would go live on certain events. So like if everybody wants to hang with me during the elections or something like that, if I have enough people that are like, hey, can I sit with you during the 2026 general election? Maybe we just go live and we just bring in the results and we have that conversation. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We could do that. So we'll see. All right. But that's what you can expect. And let's end it with the last question. I get this one a lot. What equipment does the studio use? Now, I'm not going to go into all the cables, the connectors, like all that stuff, right? I'm going to give you the basic, the high level overview. I use 2 mics. These are SM7B Shure. They're your studio standard. Every YouTube channel pretty much uses them, except maybe a few of them. And I do have 1 pod mic at the desk. I haven't had anybody sit there and use it yet on anything. So that's only when I'm like engaging at the computer. Okay. And then I have two Versa poles. They each have a newer light, and then each pole holds a ZV E10 Sony camera. It's basically for filming. So I have two of them. This is one of them. I love the color grade on them. They don't take, I mean, they do take pictures, but they're not photography cameras. So I strictly use these for videos only. And then the wide shot gets used by the Sony a6400. That's right in the middle. They all shoot 4K. So we shoot 4K, 24 frames per second here in the studio. Everything gets recorded to cards. After each episode, I take all the cards out. I dump them on the hard drive. It's about 300 gigs worth of data. And then we use, for the audio recording, I use a Rodecaster Pro, the first one. It's always been good. I can't wait to upgrade for the second one. Later this year or next year, when I build the second studio, I got some really cool stuff coming. If we get that far, right? I don't want to overpromise. If we get that far, I have some really cool stuff I want to do in the future. None of this requires a computer. So generally I turn the computer off, the lights, the camera, everything happens. Everything in the studio that you see, I either hand built, I put together, but this is all my doing. And I'm super proud. Even like the acoustic boards behind me and around the studio that you see. Matter of fact, if you want to see what the studio looks like, go look at the community post. There should only be like one at most. I took pictures of the studio. It's all there. You can go check it out. All right, that's the 10 questions. Timestamps are below. Like, subscribe, comment if you like this, of course. And if I could ask just one thing, if you want to really help me, it doesn't really matter about the subscribers. It's really about watch time and getting people in front of it. So the biggest thing you could do to help me out right now is share the content. If somebody's coming over your house and you want something in the background, put on a podcast, let them get lost in it. I got really good content coming. I hope that you'll take the time, watch it, communicate with me, help me build this community. I'm so thankful that you take the time to watch my stuff. If you made it this far, just know that I love you for it. I love you so much for it. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.